Good morning.
Morning. We're back for another live workout, Physio Shop. George is doubling back, doing 2 workouts in a row this week,
That's right.
which is awesome. So today for equipment, we'll need some sort of box or chair to do some squats down onto. So even like your couch or a coffee table may work perfectly. And then we have some ankle weights, but those are bonus and not necessarily necessary. But like we mentioned last time, we could also use like a tube sock with a can in it or some sort of heavier object inside there to just kind of tie around your ankles or your feet. But the only necessary item is a raised box, coffee table, something like that. George is going to take us through a little warm-up and then we'll get rolling into our workout.
Awesome. So we did the hip flow last time, so this time we'll do something a little different. And we're just going to start with body weight squats. So let's come down into that squat, press all the way up. When you do this, you want to make sure that that low back stays flat. One way you can do that is to tuck that tailbone under a little bit right before you go down into the squat. And also I like to imagine that I'm keeping my weight in my heels so I don't extend my knees out beyond my toes. So we'll do about 10 of these. Pretty close. And then we'll do some skips. This will get us dynamically moving here. So I'm going to skip. I'm going to drive my opposite arm forward as well. We'll do about 10 a side of these. Good. That should be 10. Awesome. So now we're going to extend one leg forward and reach the opposite hand to touch that toe, plant it back down, and go to the other side. Same thing, we're going to shoot for 10 a side of these. What we don't want is too much hinging forward, but we also don't want to arch back on this. So try to keep the back flat, the core nice and strong. You can't touch your toes, that is okay. We'll just reach forward. Just get a nice flow going on these. Good, last one each side. Good. So now we're going to do butt kicks. They're exactly like they sound. I'm going to try to keep everything to my knees nice and flat, so I'm not going to be driving my knees up. I'm simply going to be driving my heels back. I don't really move my arm too much on this one. We'll do 10 a side. Good. Now we're going to start, we're going to put a foot forward. We're going to take our opposite hand and we're going to pretend like we're brushing dirt off the tip of that shoe, and we'll switch to the other side. If you notice, I keep that leg perfectly straight. I really feel this stretch down the back of my legs. Keep my back nice and straight, my head nice and in line. You're like me, I'm not super flexible. I cannot really touch my toes on these. Sometimes I can towards the end of them. That's okay. It's just pretend dirt anyways that we're brushing off. Shoot for 10 a side, so maybe a couple more each side of these. Good. All right. So now we'll do some tadas. So I want you to start by bringing the hands into the chest. We're going to crouch down, still keeping the weight back in the heels, and we're going to pop up, pressing the heel forward and extending the hands back. Then we'll come down, do the same thing to the other side. So this is our last move here. We'll do 10 a side. Get nice and warm. And be ready to launch into the workout. But should be fun today. Good. These ones you want to come up nice and quick, kind of pop into that movement.
Okay, that looks good. So now I want you to
Just do a few more of these each side.
hold up a little higher. Okay, so maybe let's
So we shouldn't be feeling too out of breath, but we should be nice and warm, ready to launch into some movement. All right, Craig, I think we're ready.
All right. So we're gonna start off today with some single leg squats. So that's where we're gonna use our box, our chair, coffee table. So Georgia's gonna have her heels just slightly off of the box, and she's going to be on one leg, squat down, sitting on the box, and then raising back up. So obviously an easier version of this is to be on 2 feet and just making sure we're squatting down and using that box. Try to get a nice low one so we get a nice range of motion there. Next up are windshield wipers. So Georgia's sitting on her bottom with her heels planted out in front of her. Her hands are back. She's going to be rocking her knees to the ground and then back and then extending her hips up. Yep. And then coming back, extending to the other side and extending your hips up. So an easier version is to just kind of lose that hip extension and just rock those knees back and forth like so, really opening up those hips. Third exercise, gonna stay on the ground. We're gonna do a heel raise with twist. So, feet up in the air, she's gonna lift her hips up and then twist those feet, coming down nice and controlled. And then this is where we can add those ankle weights to make them a little harder. Next exercise are inchworm toe taps. So Georgia's going to be up in a push-up position, and she's going to bring her hips up and back, and she's going to reach her opposite hand for her opposite toe. Come back to the push-up position, and then switch hands. So alternating left and right, touching the opposite toe. Really reach for that toe. I know it's tricky.
It's hard.
Our last exercise for the round are going to be...
And to make that one easier, you can always incline it too.
Exactly, yep. Next one are runners with a hop. So Georgia's going to lunge back and then drive that knee forward and have a little hop at the top there. To take this down a level, we can just kind of exclude the hop, so just lunging backwards and then driving that knee up. Georgia's coming up on her toe a little, which she doesn't even need to do that. She can stay flat-footed and just keep that balance, 'cause driving that knee sometimes is challenging enough. And we'll go into 2 minutes of cardio. So today we'll be doing some side shuffling and just some suicide type sprints kind of back, and then back pedaling a minute each. All right? Ready to get rolling?
I'm ready.
So we're going 60 seconds on each leg here. So if you're keeping 2 feet on the ground, you're going to do 2 minutes total. All right, and then we'll take a 15-second break. And like always, I forgot the timer.
So get a little extra break. That's good. I need to catch my breath after demoing those.
All right. We'll start in about 15 seconds.
Perfect.
Make Georgia stand on one leg a little extra. All right. 2, 1, begin. So she's coming down nice and controlled, and even at the bottom, she's not slamming down onto the box. She's very controlled with it, and then pressing through the ground, extending back up. Now you'll notice Georgia has her arms out in front of her. That's to help kind of counter some of her weight and allow her to balance better on her foot. About halfway. And remember, if you can get halfway on one leg and then you have to go to 2 feet, feel free to do that. Doing single-legged squats, pretty tricky for a full minute.
Why did I say a full minute? I mean, I can't even blame you.
You're almost there. We got 7 seconds left. And time. Little rest between legs, shake them out. Especially if you're doing the double-legged squat for 2 minutes straight, get a little break here.
Absolutely.
All right, 3, 2, 1, begin. So you might find that one leg's a little trickier than the other. That's all right. Just make sure we're really controlling, our knee. We're not letting it wobble too much or collapse in or out a ton. over halfway. Don't forget to breathe. Georgia has a nice rhythm going.
Now when it gets quiet, then I can hear how heavy I'm breathing.
Just waited till the clinic opened back up, so.
Hopefully the camera isn't picking that up.
I think it picks up everything.
Okay, how's the little walk feel?
Alright, almost there. Get that last rep in. Got 1 second. Time. Alright, so now we get to sit down, rest those legs a little, open up our hips. We're going into windshield wipers. So Georgia's gonna start for the first few seconds just without the hip extension, and then she'll go into the hip extension. Ready? Begin. So this is the modified version, a little easier. So she's just rocking her hips, her knees back and forth. She's keeping her heels planted, so it's almost like a pivot point. Like if we were playing basketball, you can't move that foot once you pick up that dribble. Her heels aren't moving, they're rotating back and forth. Yep. And then make it a little easier. She's gonna have that hip extension, really activating those glutes at the top. And for those of us with really tight hips, this is gonna be a lot trickier. I remember the first time that I tried to do this, I couldn't actually get off the ground because my hips were so tight, but I worked at it and I can do these no problem now. Well, I wouldn't say no problem, they're still challenging, but I can do them.
And sometimes when I was first getting into these, same thing, they were really challenging. I had my hands down. So I used my hands just a little bit to assist me. So if you need to do that, that's okay.
Absolutely. So, heel raise twists.
I think I'm gonna start out with some ankle weights.
Georgia's gonna start with those weights around her ankle. But remember, that's totally optional. Alright, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah,
So she's raising her hips up off the ground and twisting at the same time. She has her arms out by her side to help her keep balance, and that's helping her push through the ground as well. And she's alternating which way she's twisting. So, twisting to the right, and then coming up, twisting to the left. And what's really tricky here, and she's doing a great job at not doing it, is just coming back down too quickly and losing control of her feet. So you'll notice her feet are never going past completely vertical. She's not letting them swing back down to the ground, especially with that weight on. That's tricky. Almost there. 5 seconds left, so get that last rep or two in. And time. Alright, inchworm toe taps.
The last ones, I usually pick a spot on the ceiling where my heels start, so that's right. How I know not to let them go past that point.
Alright, 2, 1, begin. So starting in that push-up position, those hips can raise back and you're reaching for your opposite toe, your opposite hand. Now the tricky part is actually reaching all the way for your toe. It's easy to come within a couple inches, but it makes it that much harder to actually touch your toe. And I know when Georgia was kind of demonstrating and doing a couple of these before we actually started the workout, she kind of mentioned how hard it was to actually reach all the way for that toe.
Yeah. It's definitely harder for me on one side than the other.
So remember, every time you come forward, those hips are coming all the way back down. You're going back into that push-up position. So you're not keeping those hips up the whole time.
Yeah. How old is he?
Almost there. Time.
Yeah.
Alright. Little break, and then we're going into our runners with a hop.
Got better once I warmed up. So if they're hard first round, they might be a little better second.
2, 1, begin.
So we're going to make you balance on the cup a little bit more. So left leg.
So do these nice controlled. We are going 60 seconds each side, as requested by Georgia. She's gonna regret this, I think.
I already do. Which is not good because I'm like 10 seconds in.
Alright, so she's lunging back, and then driving that knee up and forward, and that's what's kind of giving her that little pop, that hop up off the ground. So we're going to be feeling this one a lot in our legs. So our glutes, especially as we drive that knee up and activate those glutes, and as we come down into that back lunge, working our quads as well as our glutes. So our glutes are being activated all the way through this exercise. We're almost there. 5 seconds.
Starting now.
All right.
That was gonna go off sooner.
Little break, catch your breath, and we'll go on to the other side. And remember that if we need to make it a little easier, you just go into that back lunge, drive that knee forward. So you don't actually need to be hopping off the ground. Ready? Begin.
I might be doing that one next round.
And you can tell it doesn't need to be a big hop, so it's not necessarily, a big explosive movement. Georgia's only getting, an inch, half an inch up off the ground with that hop. Because we're doing this for a full minute. Now, if she was only going for 5 to 10 reps, she might be a little more explosive with it and get higher off the ground. But for a full minute, we're going to be more focused on really getting our glutes activated and get those nice and fatigued. Less than 10 seconds. And time.
Woo! That was hard.
Little break, so we're going into our cardio now. So we're going to be doing side shuffles and a little back and forth sprint.
Okay, which one I start with?
You choose.
Let's do the backward forward.
All right, ready, begin. So just going to be backpedaling. We have a nice big space here on the turf, and then running forward. So whatever space you have, whether you're in your living room, you can use a hallway, you're doing this in, your basement. Just get that open space, jog backwards, and then all the way forward. Wall to wall. Find your pace, full minute. Running forward and then backwards is backwards motion. We're really activating our hamstrings and our glutes a lot more than when we're running forward. Here we go, keep it rolling, about 10 seconds left, and then we'll go right into our side shuffle where we'll use the same lane, the same alley, just kind of going back and forth. All right, that's a minute there. Ready, our side shuffle, 2, 1, begin. So Georgia's in a slight little squat. She has her arm down in front of her just to help kind of counter that balance a little. And she's shuffling side to side, nice and quick. Getting a lot of that lateral movement that many of us don't get in our daily lives or daily activities, especially runners like Georgia and I, but even, the typical human. We're always working, forward and backwards, and we're not using those lateral movements quite as much as we should. Over halfway. Keep it going. Remember, stay in that nice little squat position. Try not to be straight up and down. And this is cardio, so don't quit on us if that heart rate gets a little elevated, you get a little out of breath. That's the point of this.
I'm out of breath too.
Yeah, don't be scared. In time.
Woo!
All right, so we'll take a 2-minute break now, and we'll be back.
So will you do
All right, we're back. I don't know if I can do those jumps round two. We'll see. We'll see what
Maybe
happens.
we can always modify it up. You can do it
Backtrack.
without the hop. We'll start in about 15 seconds. We can do it without the hop, or we can switch halfway and kind of go back and forth.
That was hard.
For 2
Whoever stuck
minutes.
with me for those, you guys are champs. That was.
All right. So we're going into our single leg squats. 2, 1, begin. So she's switching which leg she started with. All right. We got a little trivia today. We're going world records. So just kind of random world records or facts. All right. So we're gonna start off.
Like Guinness Book World
Like
Records
Guinness
status.
Book, yeah. Guinness Book World Record category, trivia. How tall was the tallest human being ever?
Well, definitely over 7 feet. But I'm wondering if it was over like. Okay, I'm gonna say 9'1". Is that crazy?
Ooh, that was pretty close,
Really?
but not quite. 8'11".
Ooh, so close.
Yeah, 8'11" by Robert.
I was only off by 2
Wallach.
inches.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Who I'm assuming have like gigantism or something.
yep. So time, little break, and then we'll switch legs.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so
he
tall.
did. So yeah, had that disease. Which did you know now that they have like a solution for it? Ready, begin. So it's really just caused by like a hormone that just keeps
Oh.
being like
Like
produced.
human
And,
growth hormone?
yeah, basically. So now there's just a surgery that you can have to block that from actually.
Whoa, so
Um,
that's
being-
why you
being
don't see
produced.
it anymore.
Yeah, or to the extent, obviously,
Or
there's
you
going to be
just-
like NBA players
I was
that
just
have
gonna
it,
say.
but like not to the extreme to where it's
Right,
you
they're
know,
not 9 feet
they're-
tall.
Yeah, they're not 9 feet tall. But
Wow.
yeah, he actually he was going to law school, but instead joined like a circus and got really famous.
Whoa.
But unfortunately, he passed away at only the age of 22.
Because doesn't it cause other congenital
Yeah,
stuff?
but he actually had a infection from a blister from the braces he had to wear.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's so sad. Poor guy. You know, it's funny, we had a. I'm almost done.
Almost there.
So,
Time.
my family is all very short, and we had this family that we were really close with growing up that was all like over 6 feet, and their son was like 7'4".
Oh wow.
So it was like our family and then their family. It was really funny.
Jeez.
Oops,
2,
oops. Wait,
1, begin. Yep, go into the windshield wipers.
should we show them the modifications?
Sure. We can make, if you have a band, don't put it around your neck.
You'll have to sit on it.
Yep. You can tie it. We usually have this around one of our squat racks, or you can put this around like your coffee table or the leg of your couch, something like that, and it just kind of adds a little resistance for when you're extending that hip up. Just over halfway. All right. How fast is the fastest human free fall?
Well, there's some cap speed on that. It's like 128 miles per hour.
No, not even close. Much faster.
That's like, I don't know.
Time. All right, we're going into our heel raise
So-
twist.
Is this somebody who, like, is like diving straight down and they're trying to get faster?
Yeah, diving straight down to sea,
See,
like
to me that's-
like a parachute free fall. Like they're free falling and then they're ripping a parachute and landing safely on the ground. I didn't start that break, so you get a little extra recovery, or you can go right into it.
Oh,
Go.
sorry.
We'll go right into it. Don't worry.
I thought that's what that beep was. Okay, well, I say 128 because I remember when I did skydiving, they were saying that's the max velocity of free fall when you're skydiving. But maybe that's not when you're like trying to get faster. So I guess since you're saying it's much faster, I would say 437 miles per hour.
No. 843.6 miles per hour.
Holy cow.
Yep, by Felix Baumgartner. So he took basically like a space shuttle, like balloon, up into like space basically, and like free fall down.
I'm gonna have to look into this one.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane.
And time.
I think I remember that. It was a Red Bull thing.
Yep. So it cost Red Bull $20 million
Oh my gosh.
to do this. He was 127,000 feet high.
Whoa.
Ready, begin. So inchworm, toe taps.
But it's interesting because like you should hit a maximum velocity.
Yeah, I don't know what like the physics behind it is. Obviously, he also has like a lot of gear on. Like he's basically in this probably super
Yeah,
heavy
but
space
your
suit.
weight has nothing to do with it though. If you're talking about physics. I need a full physics report on this case.
All right. Well, next workout, I'll have that.
Next
report
workout
for
will be
you.
a physics themed. No one will watch. Except for Jared. Jared will watch.
All right. So you asked me like 3 weeks ago how many hot dogs could I eat in whatever 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So
What did you said something absurd too.
no, you said cupcakes.
Next time I'm gonna make you do it during your workout.
What's the most hamburgers eaten in 3 minutes?
Oh my god, I couldn't eat
Time.
more than 3.
So 4-ounce patties. I
Okay.
kind of looked into this. I was like,
Thank
look at
you.
these hamburgers. 4-ounce patties
Sounds pretty small.
with the same ratio kind of bun. So yeah, pretty small. Like we're talking like McDonald's
Okay.
hamburger with no like I think there's like was mayonnaise and ketchup on it.
In
Ready?
3 minutes?
Begin. In 3 minutes.
I feel like it was probably okay, I want to say 15, but I'm gonna say 23.
No. You only 12.
Really?
12, yeah. Which is a hamburger
Oh, I was
every
gonna say-
15 seconds.
I know, but if people are like training for this, I feel like
Yeah, I don't know.
no, that's still a lie. It's the
It
bread.
is, yeah. I feel like if you just had a really big mouth, you could eat them faster, right? You get the whole hamburger down in one.
Well, I don't know. You should look. These all need to be looked into.
We're 10 seconds left.
Maybe the last
All right, no, yep, get a little tired. No more hopping.
Nope.
All right, time. Little break.
Wait, so it's 12.
Well, 12 hamburgers, so there's no cheese, there's no topping or anything. All right, what about the heaviest carrot ever grown? Ready, begin. Make sure we're switching legs.
I bet. Whoa. I bet it was heavier than I think. So I'm gonna stick with the same number and say 23 pounds.
Ooh!
Is that right?
No, 22.44
Oh
pounds.
my gosh, I'm amazing.
Yep. Came from Minnesota.
Sounds
They
right.
had a picture of it. The thing was huge. It was like half my body.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Imagine how much carrot cake you can make with that.
I wonder if it tasted the same or if it
Yeah.
probably didn't. It probably tasted all genetically
What
modified.
if they just accidentally forgot to like tend that part of the garden for a while? Because that had to take years. Okay, we're such days.
Less than 10 seconds. All right.
Woo!
Time, little break, going into our suicide sprints, so jogging backwards and forwards, and then we'll go right into our side shuffles.
I think these are so hard because the jumps come before them.
2, 1, begin. All right, so we're kind of on like a food theme
I
here
know I'm
now.
hungry now.
What's the largest pizza ever produced? And we're gonna.
Are you asking for diameter
We're going
or
in
pounds?
square feet.
Square feet. 42 square feet.
No.
No, nowhere close.
way bigger.
4,000 square feet.
Way bigger.
What?
Way bigger.
It's bigger than a house.
Way bigger.
14,000 square feet.
Ooh, that's a lot closer. A little much. So, 13,580.28 square feet.
How do you cook that?
I have no idea how they cooked it. There wasn't very much detail on this, but they had a picture and it looked like it was like inside of like an arena of some type.
Maybe they just cooked it in Phoenix.
Alright, going right into our side shuffles. Begin.
Maybe they just sat it out in an arena in Phoenix.
Yeah, with
And
the
it's
sun.
so
over
hot.
it. Yeah, it was made by these three brothers in. Alright, my last food one here. How much did the heaviest avocado weigh?
Oh, okay. 18 pounds.
Nope, you overshot that. I was kind of surprised at this one. I didn't think it weighed as much as I kind of thought it would.
Yeah, so I overshot with 18, 12.
Still,
Really?
yeah,
8?
still too much.
No.
Yeah. It's only 5.6 pounds.
What?
Yeah. It was just, it was a really heavy avocado. Time. But yeah, it's from Hawaii.
Huh.
But,
Okay.
alright, 2-minute break. We'll be back.
Last round.
Round 3. Alright, remember we're starting with those single leg squats. And if we can't do the single leg, just keeping that double leg. 5 seconds. 2, 1, begin. Alright, so Georgia claims to be a really good marathoner, so we're going to see how well she knows her
I did not claim that.
her marathon world records. What is the fastest marathon by a male in a Mr. Potato Head costume?
Oh my gosh. No.
I could crush these
Okay.
records.
Okay. In the costume you can
I think I could,
I
yes.
have seen you run a 5K in a box, so. I would say 2:37.
No, you're about an hour too fast.
Really? Just because nobody wants to actually run a marathon.
And yeah, Mr. Potato Head costume. 3 hours, 24 minutes, 19 seconds. Alright, what about a female dressed as a cartoon character? So she was Minnie
Okay, I
Mouse.
just want one hint. Is it
Time.
faster or slower
Switching.
than that?
Little break. It is slightly slower. Like, I think they might have run this together.
I already forgot what you said. 3 hours and 33 minutes.
No. Ready? Begin. So,
I guess I want to know, is she wearing heels?
I don't think so.
Okay, because there is a record for that,
Yeah.
which sounds awful.
So, 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 28 seconds. So she was 9 seconds slower than Miss Potato. There's records. I didn't write these down, these aren't questions, but there's records for marathon, dribbling a basketball, dribbling 2 basketballs, dribbling 3 basketballs, dribbling a basketball backwards, dribbling 2 basketballs backwards, like all for like a marathon. And it's like, oh,
Why?
why are there so many like?
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just?
There's juggling world records, which are actually like pretty impressive.
I wonder if it. I'm assuming they dropped something. I mean, 26 miles, that's several hours.
Hey, I don't know if there's a penalty or like they just have to go back to where they dropped it.
Okay. Whew. So harder the third round.
15 seconds, we're going into our windshield wipers.
Alright.
Remember, you can, if you have a band, it's not necessary, but tie it around your coffee table or whatnot. Georgia's lucky she has me to stand on it. Ready, begin.
Surprised you weigh enough.
Hey. Alright, back to our marathons. How about wearing a full body dinosaur costume?
4 hours.
Just 4 hours flat.
4 hours.
Just a little faster. 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 46 seconds. So pretty close.
Pretty close.
It wasn't one of those big like inflatable.
That's exactly
cruelty.
what I pictured.
That's what I was hoping it was. It was just like a fabric, like, and it had like a hood that went over. Like
I don't respect that.
Her face was like in the dinosaur mouth.
I don't know if I respect that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get if you buy me an inflatable one, I'll
set the record.
I'll set a record for a marathon running in it. All right. How about dressed as a fast food item? So he was dressed as a hot dog.
Okay, imagine these times are gonna get slower.
And time.
5 hours. I bet they didn't even finish.
No, this one's actually this one would beat Cam in a marathon.
Oh, Cam.
Going into our heel raises. So you're back on the ground, Georgia.
2 hours, 54 minutes.
Nope, not that fast.
Sorry,
a couple extra seconds.
You guys get a couple extra seconds. You're welcome. Tuck my shirt in. Okay.
All right, 2, 1, begin. So he broke 3 hours.
Okay.
2 hours, 59 minutes, and 35
Can
seconds.
you imagine that sprint finish of the hot dog to the finish line?
So that one's actually, sub 3, is hard enough
It is.
to
That's
run a
impressive.
marathon. Like the average person cannot do that. Average person struggles to run a marathon, but
Right.
average marathoner doesn't run under 3 hours. So to do it in a hot dog costume, head to toe, it's tricky.
Yeah, there's gotta be some serious logistics.
All right, moving on from marathons, we'll see how well Georgia knows her money, her finances.
Not well at all.
What's the most expensive glove ever sold or auctioned off?
There's part of me that wants to say, well, the most I would ever spend is $14, but I imagine is it Michael Jackson's glove?
Time. Well, you got that.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, is it over $1 million?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, not impressed.
No, I don't care then. Don't wanna know.
All right, inchworm, toe taps, 2, 1, begin.
214,000.
No. So it was Michael Jackson's like diamond glove, so just a single glove, not even a pair. It was auctioned off for $420,000.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
All right. What was the most expensive man-made item?
whoa, what was it?
Yeah. What was it, or how much? There's not even an exact number.
Okay. Was it some type of building or structure?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking like a building or maybe like a bridge or something like that. I don't know, that would be, my guess would have been like a cathedral, you know?
No. So it's no longer on Earth. I'll tell you.
Oh, a spaceship. The space station?
Yeah.
I think it's
Time.
probably
So the
billions.
International Space Station is the most expensive man-made item ever. It's estimated over $100 billion.
Sounds right.
All right, going into our last one for the round. Those runners at the hop.
I'm gonna try
Ready?
30 and 30,
begin.
so let me know when I'm at 30
Okay.
seconds.
I'll try to. No promises. You know how I am with the timer.
Yep.
All right. Who's the richest person in the world? And how much is he worth? She worth? He worth? Whatever it may be.
I have no idea. Is it Warren Buffett?
No, he's the third, I believe.
Okay. I got the top 3. I have no clue.
It is Jeff Bezos. He's the CEO of Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Am I at 30?
Yes.
I knew it.
All right.
I'm
So
burning.
$112 billion is what he's worth. He's the first
Oh.
person to be worth more than $100 billion. I
That's just sad. You should be doing something with that.
think he's doing quite a bit with that.
Oh. I haven't heard anything. Also, I've never heard his name before, so.
All right, time, little break, shake those legs out.
I take back what I said. It's not cold in here.
Yeah, now it's
Said it
warming
was
up.
cold in here, and then.
Warming up in here.
It is.
All right, 3 seconds, last leg, 2, 1, begin. And then we'll go right into that cardio. We're almost done.
Almost there, guys.
All right. What's the most expensive commercial hot dog that you can buy?
Commercial.
So like a standard hot dog, you can go and get this like any day of the week. It's not something
Is
fancy
this
with like
per pack
gold
or
on
per
it.
hot dog?
Like per hot dog, like at a hot dog cart or a
Oh,
hot
gotcha.
dog restaurant. You can order it off the menu.
Okay. $67.
Nope,
Is that even too high or too low?
it's too low.
What? This is gonna be. I'm way over 30 seconds, aren't I?
Yes.
At least I'm good at guessing that. That's too low? Is it over $100?
Yeah.
Is it over 200?
No.
Oh my gosh. $112.
More.
No. 128?
Nope. More. Time.
How much?
It's $169.
Oh my gosh.
Sold in Seattle, Washington.
Sounds right.
Um,
Wow. Is it good?
I don't know. It looked good. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, begin.
What's the description of it on the menu?
I don't know. I didn't look that much into this fact. All right, what's the age of the oldest person to ever live?
136.
Nope, a little less.
132.
Less. No, less.
127.
Less.
122.
122. Yep, it was a female. I didn't get her name.
You didn't ask her.
No.
Didn't catch it.
All right. Longest time that anyone has ever held their breath.
David, what's his name, right?
Nope.
Or, it's like 16 minutes or 17 minutes.
It's more.
19?
It's more. It's crazy.
How? How is that possible? I don't think I can hold my breath for more than 30 seconds. Okay, 27 minutes?
No, less than that.
25.
Less than that.
23.
And switch going into our side shuffle. Right into it. Boom. All right. 24 minutes and 3 seconds.
Who was it?
It was Alex Segura Vendrell from Spain. Probably completely said that name wrong.
Probably. You probably got Alex right.
I think so.
Maybe. That's incredible.
I know.
Have you seen the TED Talk on, is it David Blaine? Was it the magician? Who had the record before him, and the doctor like called it off. After
Really?
he had been underwater, I can't remember how long, like 16 or 17 minutes. The doctor like brought him out of the water
Wow.
because they were worried. But he has a whole TED Talk on how he trained his body to do that. It's
That's
incredible.
pretty crazy. Yeah, in the description of this record, it was clear that it was a voluntary holding your breath. So maybe that means that the non-voluntary is good. Almost there. And time.
Good job,
All
guys.
right. Awesome job.
Thanks for working out with us.
Maybe we'll set a world record one day. Who knows?
Yeah, it's our goal. It's our goal in life.
All right, we'll see you next time.